Hey, it's Netty'd here from Billionaire Babes, helping you boom in business through sales and performance. And today we're talking about how to get yourself out there online. And I'm sharing with you an expert, someone that I absolutely love because she is phenomenal and she has helped set up all my events online. And she's an expert when it comes to social media marketing. So let me introduce you to Heather Porter. Now, Heather has an extensive background. If you're a speaker or a coach, I tell you what, this girl is one to look up to, because she has been on the speaking circuit for the likes of Anthony Robbins, Christopher Howard, and who else? Another one.
Oh my gosh, Keith Cunningham. Dr.
Keith Cunningham, he rocks. Dr. DiMartini, I told you this girl's good. So I had to share her because I don't want to keep her a secret of my own. So here she is, and today we're going to talk about how to position yourself online, all the different things you can do to create income, because the internet is absolutely the one thing that you need to make sure that you are all over. So welcome, Heather.
Yay.
And let's start with let's just start with a bit of your background.
Yeah, sure.
How you got into it and what you're sort of seeing these days with the change of trends.
Great question. I started in the 90s, mid-90s. I taught myself web design in the days where you use tools like Dreamweaver and, you know, really amateur sort of programs. I was doing that while I was running my own event company. So I was doing like nightclub events and promotions. And I was also working for Tony Robbins at the time. So it's a bit of a smorgasbord. Yes, very, very full, very full. But really, you know, I used the internet for my own business at that time, and then I sort of went away from that actually for a good, I don't know, 10 years. And I started really working for speakers, behind the scenes, running their event systems, their crew. And funny enough, I was brought right back into the whole online thing about, gosh, it would have been about 6 years ago now. Right. When I was asked to do a brand new online community for Chris Howard. His Academy of Wealth and Achievement site, which upon launch we had 18,000 members in there.
And if you see my certificates.
I do, yes. So that was 5 years ago, and ever since then I've just been unstoppable back in the internet again. Not so much the website design side of things, but more the strategy. So really, how do you build a tribe? How do you build a brand? How do you tie all the tools together to make it really work for you as business?
Beautiful. So what's so exciting about the internet? Because I know that you get so pumped, like when you send me emails, oh my God, I can't wait to do this.
Yeah.
I know it just excites you.
I know, I'm a bit of a nerd, I know, I must confess. You know what I love about it is that anybody overnight can be a success. Well, almost. But you know, you have social media, you have a website, you can run mobile apps on your phone. There's a system that works. There's a fundamental system of using the internet for you and your business. And I think so many people say, oh yeah, you need to be everywhere and you have to have this social media account, you have to have like this shopping cart program and this and this. Absolutely not. No, you only need to use what's, you know, right for your business. And it's not as complex, I suppose, as it seems. So I want to share a little bit of that with you.
Yeah, great. It's funny because you're just saying like anyone could be an overnight success overnight. And it's quite funny you said that, because one of my clients the other day said that he was so good. He's really old school. He said, I'm so good, Annette, at placing an ad in the Yellow Pages. He said, but Yellow Pages is old school. He said, but Yellow Pages is what the internet is like now. He said, I could put the biggest ad in the Yellow Pages and that would position my business as a large business. He goes, but we're a small business. He goes, but we had a heap of inquiries. He said, so I need to be able to do that online to be able to create that same feeling. So it's really interesting you said that.
You know, and I love that you say that as well, because right now we're on what I call the mobile revolution. So by 2015, statistically it's showing that everybody's going to be using the internet from their mobile devices. And back in the days, do you remember like where it was the transition between radio into television? The very first TV shows were actually just somebody at a microphone being filmed like they were still on radio. And where we are right now is exactly that for normal websites into mobile devices. Wow. So we as an online marketer are looking at cramming a website into a telephone and mobile device or your tablet, just literally making it smaller. Yeah. But what's happening right now is that's not going to work anymore. People are engaging with the internet through apps and in a whole new way. So we're on the, I guess, eve of really an exciting time of no longer about websites, but it's about your tribe, your communication, and all the different things working together.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so let's start with this. Where should we start if we were to educate our members? Now, we've got women from startup businesses to women that actually have businesses that are booming. They have got either memberships or they've got like a lot of followers.
Yep.
So where can we start?
Best thing to start with is your website credible? Is it easy to use? Is it clean and crisp? And most importantly, does it have what we call a call to action, which is something on there where they can give you their details in exchange for something for free. A lot of people call it the ethical bribe. It could be, that's funny, it could be a video series, it can be, a white paper, a report. Ebooks aren't working quite as well anymore because people just don't have time to read.
Right.
But you want to have something on your site that's very, easy to find where somebody can opt in and get more information about you. By the way, most people don't ever return to your website or ever return to your Facebook page or your Twitter page once they actually go and like or follow or engage with the next step, just because you're communicating with them on your feed, in social media or your emails on your website.
Right, yeah. So what would you recommend then if ebooks aren't good as an opt-in? What's one of the best things that work?
Cheat sheets.
Cheat sheets?
Like the old Cliff Notes, the cheat sheets. The reason why is that you can literally give a one-page document with the best of your knowledge on a cheat sheet. So I'll give you an example. There's a guy we were working with who teaches you how to get the dream job, the transitional in your career. So how to go from your job that you hate to actually going and getting the job you love. He developed a cheat sheet that's the 10 things you should never say in a job interview. See how simple that is, right? And it's literally just a PDF, and it's something that somebody can opt in and get, and really get a feel for this man and his knowledge and background. So they work well, and videos as well. So any sort of video course or e-course or quick bit of information. Again, you want to share the best of the best of your knowledge, because this is your opportunity
One
to...
chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's quite interesting you say, like, he's getting people that are enrolling or subscribing with 10 questions. Like, how many of you could write 10 questions or give 10 answers or 10 tips? It's pretty damn easy.
Very, very easy. Yeah.
So if they're not good on the camera, then they could... Yeah,
absolutely.
Wonderful.
Just think how, what do you like to do? Do you like to write? Do you like to be on camera? Are you sort of like an auditory person? You do podcasts or MP3s? How can you best engage? How can you best very quickly give the best of your knowledge? Not going too deep into any of those points. And just do that. Be yourself. I mean, the internet is very transparent. People will uncover things about you that if you're trying to, copy somebody else and not be yourself, it's just, that's what's so beautiful about it as well. You don't have to be somebody else.
Yeah.
So,
and that's a really good point, because at the end of the day, the customer has to like you, and there's going to be plenty of people out there that will like you, and there's going to be plenty of people out there that might not like you, but it's okay.
You want both. Absolutely. Because if you're not speaking the language of your customer, then you're being too vague and too broad, and no one's going to actually connect with you. So you really want to get into the headspace of that person, which means that there's going to be a whole load of other people that don't like you because you're not speaking in their language anymore. But for the people that you're speaking to, that's your tribe, that's your following. They will love you the more specific you get.
Yeah. And then it's 120% slam dunk, like a hole in one. Yeah. Because when you're actually in front of them, or they continue. So when they're a part of that funnel, that will keep connecting with them more and more. Absolutely. And down the rabbit hole they go. So let's go from they've opted in. And without giving too much of your secrets away, because, guys, this girl is phenomenal with what she actually gives you for your funnel, the guidance. She holds your hand through the whole way, through the whole process. But let's go through the general idea, because some people are listening going, what the hell is a funnel?
Sounds freaky and medical. It's easy. It's the customer experience. It's the customer journey. If you think that when somebody opts in for your free item that you're giving away, your cheat sheet or your video, what do you want them to see next? What do you want them to experience about you to ultimately, obviously your outcome is to sell your products or services. So your funnel is your experience of you holding their hand through your digital material and giving them amazing bonuses to build rapport and trust. So you might give them more videos. You might have like a full e-course where you just give periodic emails in the first couple weeks and their autoresponders. You might supplement, like we were talking about the cheat sheet. You might have, a video for each of those points on the cheat sheet that you then supplement.
That's a good idea. You might be getting that from me now.
So So it's really all you have to think about is this. When you meet somebody and you're networking with them at, say, a business event, you get to know them a little bit, just a very little bit, but you don't want to push your, this is who I am, this is how fabulous I am, this is what you can buy from me.
Hi, my name's Susie, here's my business card.
Exactly.
Or teeth and business cards.
No, it's more like, hey,
No.
how are you? How you doing? You know, what does your business do? And the same thing online, the very first part where they opt in is just for them to get a taste. And it's not about you, it's all about them and how you can help them. The next steps of the journey are only to just lead them a little bit deeper into your content and your knowledge. Don't be offended if they opt out or they don't want to get emails from you anymore. All it means is you're doing your job, because you're basically building a rapport with that person. You're either speaking in their language or you're not. And if you're not, it's okay that they go away. And if you are, they're going to stay with you for the long term.
Yeah, great. Just two things on that. The first one is, you know, I see myself as a sales and verbal communication sales expert. However, there's some things that really cross over to the marketing side, which is we always teach that you're a solution. Your business, your product or your service must be a solution to your customer's problem. You've got to find out what that is. And that's really what you're saying there. So let's go into when you're talking about the opt-in out and the unsubscribe rate. Is there some numbers that these people should know? Because some of these guys know how to use the back end and they know how to check their unsubscribe rates and even the click-through rate. So if you send an email, guys, I know some of you guys know this, but I'm just going to go to basics. If you send an email and you have a link, you can actually track how many people have clicked that through that link, the click-through rate. So let's just talk about some numbers here.
Sure. So this is what's known as email conversions. And what that means simply is that when you send an email, you want somebody to take action. That's first, of course, that you want them to open. And secondly, that they actually click on a link to see whatever you're sharing with them. The very first statistic that you're looking at is the open rate. So a good rule of thumb for an open rate is if you're doing anything over 30%, be happy. If you have 50, 60% opens, be very happy.
Have a party.
Because people are not going to open all your emails. It's just not how it works. We're all busy. So rule of thumb, you know, try and aim for the 50% mark. That means you have a really active, you know, a happy tribe of people that are following you.
Yes.
Now, click-through rates is something else. So opens one thing.
What's an angry list? Because I remember we've spoken about this once before. Yes. I had Heather come to our one of my S-Uni, Sales University, that's what it stands for, and she lectured there. And I remember you talked about an angry list. So let's just talk about that in case there's some angry lists out there.
Okay, so first of all, an angry list is a list that you might not have communicated with for a while, so they stopped knowing who you are. Or it's a list that feels like you're just emailing them too much or not enough good content. You will know you have an angry list when you're getting, if lucky, you know, 10 to 20% open rate.
Wow. Okay.
So literally, if you think of that, you've sent out 100 emails.
Yes.
10 people open out of all 100 people that have received your email.
Wow.
That's not a very happy, responsive list.
Yeah. That's really interesting. Probably about 5 years ago, I actually bought a list. And when I heard from you about the difference in the click-through rates, the list that I've actually built organically through my hard work and speaking and all that, it's around 52%, right? So that's good. And the one that isn't, I think it's around like 5% click-through rate, the actual purchased one. I remember looking at it because I remember us speaking about it. And I thought, oh, I'm going to go home and have a look. I jumped on the computer that night and I saw that. So there you go. And I went, I've got an angry list, but I've got a happy list. So what I'm doing now with that list, and you can tell me if this is right, I'm doing different things to them to rebuild the relationship. So normally I'd actually send the same emails. So I'm trying different titles and just different content just to try to build that again.
Yeah, and it's good because the people that are in your tribe already and they know who you are, so you don't have to like start from scratch and say who you are. But for the angrier list, you're going to have to almost start from scratch. Yeah. And it's not going to be about you, it's going to be about them. And it's going to be trying to understand what they need and where their pain points are, and then introducing yourself into those points as a solution slowly and steadily. Click-through rates too, you asked. And I don't want to forget about that too. So click-through rates are when somebody actually clicks on a link in your email to, of course, get your freebie or whatever you're offering. Now, a good click-through rate is, look, if you can sort of get 20%, again, you're doing really, really well. If you're sort of an angry list would be a 1 or 2% click-through rate.
Yeah.
So again, think of it like this. 100 emails go out to an angry list. 10 people open it and 1 person clicks. That means 100 emails go out, 1 person takes action. And we're not even talking about what happens when they get on that web page. Do they actually engage with that web page? Are they taking action on the web page? So you can start to see that there's quite a bit of statistical thinking that has to go on to what you're doing to be a success.
Yeah. And your stats tell you a story. You should know your stats absolutely everywhere. And I remember when you were talking through that, I was like, I don't know the stats actually for the back end. But it's great to go through that again, so thank you.
Yeah.
Just quickly, I would never buy a list again.
No.
Would you recommend not to buy a list? Because my experience was, it hasn't been that great.
No, and you know what? If you actually go into MailChimp or Aweber or some of those email marketing tools, they actually have a clause in there that says you cannot upload or import a purchase list.
Yeah, because it's spamming.
It's complete spam. These people, they don't know who you are. They've only said that they are happy to receive emails about maybe what you're teaching or your industry.
Business.
Yeah, exactly. Very vague, right? Like totally vague. Where Annette, you have such an amazing market, and the way you speak to your market and the women that are in your community is just amazing. But say you get this 80-year-old man that gets an email from you. He's like
this Netty'd
rocking out with like rap videos and stuff. He's thinking, what the?
Who is this crazy woman? Yeah. So let's have a chat about really the next step, all right? So let's just say we've built in the relationship, we've sent out emails. Is there like a magic number of emails before they start to go on to a new funnel or a new type of marketing?
Very, very good question. And what I found is there's generally 2 to 3 phases. The first phase is the rapport and the trust building phase. That's generally, about 2 weeks, and that's sending an email out every sort of, on average, 3 days. So you're thinking, okay, first 2 weeks, I'm literally going to be giving them a lot of really good content. So more videos, supplementing the free reports. And after about 2 weeks, you can start to ask for the sale. So they go into phase 2 at that part. That is when you actually begin to explain what you have. And I generally like to use it as your signature program offering. So after the first 2 weeks, you're gearing them up to introduce them to your signature program or service. It can be an event, it can be an online program, it can be a coaching program, whatever it is. But the idea is that all the material in the first 2 weeks supplements the message in the actual item that you're selling. So you're actually teasing them about the actual item that you're going to sell. So phase 2 sales.
Yeah. So it's a game of strategy as well, in a way. Yeah,
definitely.
Always
reverse engineer. Absolutely. Look at the market, look at what you're selling over here, and then work backwards all the way to what can I give away for free that's going to tease, and give value up to what I'm ultimately going to sell them.
Now, I remember you saying to me about, I did an 8-hour workshop, and you said, Annette, get the transcript from that, and then you can redo a whole heap of stuff. So let's talk about that, because I've got the transcript, baby. So what do we do from there? Because let's even go back. These people might have videos or they might have written blogs. So let's do it all. Yeah.
Sure. This is called content marketing, is what you're saying. Content creation and content marketing.
I love all the words. This is called content marketing. All right, I'm taking notes on this one.
And it's also called content repurposing.
Repurposing.
That's it. Yes. So the idea is that, again, you want to reverse engineer. So you're ultimately looking at what does the market want, what keywords are they using online to find stuff, then you create content based on that. You don't think, there's an amazing idea in my head, I'm going to go create content, because you have no idea if it's what people actually want.
Yeah.
So first you find out what people are looking for, then you create the content, and then you start to repurpose it and distribute it, which is the content marketing. So in your case of the transcript, what you guys can do, so let's say you're doing a webinar, and so you're doing a live call with your audience and you're giving them a lot of value, you better record that webinar. You're going to take the recording of that webinar and then you can get it transcribed and you can turn that into a free report or a PDF. You can give it away as an opt-in, you can put it on PDF directories to get traffic back to your website. Then you can take that PDF and you can turn it into a blog post. So you sort of rewrite it, rejiggle it to make it actually read better. And then you have that. Then you might also strip off the audio file from your webinar, just use the audio and make it a podcast, for example. Then you might also, you know, if you've recorded a video side of the webinar, you might put that on YouTube as a video. So the idea is that how can you recreate using the one piece of content in a lot of different ways? Because we all learn in different ways, and we all want to engage in content with content in different ways as well.
And that's great as well, because then you're not sort of stuck trying to think of extra things that you can do. Absolutely. You can, like you said, repurpose. Now, there's a term that I actually use with my clients, which is work your business from the outside in, which means, you know, if you're creating products and services, it's because of demand, or it's because you've actually gone out there and surveyed. So we're going to have people here listening going, how am I going to know what my audience wants? Yeah, so what are some ideas that they can do with that? You were saying Google search, some words, or what are some other things?
Like, you know what, it's really easy. Actually, this part's gotten easier because of the changes in Google recently. All you need to do is Google keyword tool. Go to Google and Google keyword tool. And what it is, this is basically a free tool that people that are doing advertising on Google use to find out what the market wants. Type in a phrase, type in a question, type in something you're thinking about creating, like sales techniques or you know, personal development or whatever it is that is in your industry. And you can actually see how many searches, not only locally in Australia or in your own country, how many people are searching for that every month, but also globally. You can see if there's competition for that keyword. You do want some competition. It's going to say low, medium, and high. Yes. Try to aim for medium. If it's low competition, it just means that people aren't buying ads in that space, meaning that it's not a word that is monetizable. Yes. People won't spend money searching for that word.
That's really interesting, because in one of my training courses, I've done an example of that. And we just typed in how to make bread, right? And then what came up higher was how to make yeast-free bread. So if you're a person that's knows how to make bread, plus you know how to make yeast-free bread, you know that the blog or the video, whatever it is that you're doing, you'd actually change the title because it's got the keyword yeast-free in it. Correct?
Exactly, exactly. And now you're talking about a niche as well. You're talking about specifics, which is more powerful than being vague on the internet. The more specific you can get with everything that you do. Yeast-free, that's a very certain type of person that's going to search for that. And you can start to think, what else would that person want? You know, what else? What other markets are maybe around a yeast-free or organic or whatever it is?
Yeah. Now, there's so many different types of media out there. We've got Twitter, we've got LinkedIn. I don't even use Instagram. I don't even know what that is, but I think it makes your photos look good. But I think there's a whole little society or community there. Let's talk about, how do you know what medium to actually use and why to actually use it? Sure.
So specifically around social media, you're looking at where's your market hanging out. So, for example, LinkedIn is a professional network. This is a place where if you're doing B2B business or you're looking to promote yourself to corporates or professionals, you absolutely want to be in there. It is the zone to hang out and build rapport and relationships with those types of people. Facebook is more, well, men and women, but generally a little bit more women. You're looking for health and beauty and personal development, definitely areas of business as well. But you think of Facebook's more of a friendlier area. People go there to get lifted up and inspired and to share ideas and concepts. So Facebook, though, is easy for everybody to use and test because there are so many people on Facebook as well. So you can do cheap Facebook ads and just see if your concept's going to take off. Pinterest is generally for women. Again, this is for the health and beauty market. If you think of Pinterest like a vision board, where, you know, most women use vision boards or will kind of take pages out of magazines and think, oh, you know, I might want to use that for my hairdo for my wedding, or, you know, look at that amazing recipe. So think of it as more of a magazines area. So if you have
so if they had a product, would be perfect to advertise.
Absolutely. Especially for women, because more women than men use Pinterest as well. Instagram is definitely up and coming. It's a photo community, just recently launched video, and it's more, again, think about your business. Do you have something that's visual that you can share? Before and afters of weight loss. You know, if you're a life coach and you're not specializing on health, but you're more about mindset, how can you actually show a mindset before and after a case?
Take a photo of the brain before and after.
Not. But you might, like Facebook would be better.
Just cut you open for a moment.
Exactly.
Right. So there's a guy that I'm Facebook friends with, and he remodels jewellery. So it would be great
Perfect,
for,
yes.
awesome.
Pinterest,
And Instagram.
Visual, because it's jewelry. If you're a craftsman in any way, shape, or form, so you want to show off your craft.
Right, okay.
What else? YouTube. YouTube is the second largest search engine past Google. It's where people go to be educated in things. So it's obviously video libraries, and you type in the words "how to." I think everyone should be on YouTube.
I love YouTube, but I love the camera. I'm not shy.
Yeah, can you tell? Just a little. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's
so
brilliant.
you were saying like the highest search word or keywords in YouTube is how to.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, people go there to learn something. So they're typing in the words how to. Fill in the blank, you guys. That would be you teaching them something. How to do an updo. How to lose 5 kilos. How to, it's literally those types of things. And we all can teach. We are all teachers in our business. So that's why you use YouTube. I highly recommend it for everybody.
Twitter.
Yes, Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter's fantastic. I've just been really getting into Twitter more and more and more. It is a place for news and market research. And you can easily access amazing people and start up conversations as well.
Sandra Sully, this one I got in contact with.
And Natasha, is it Belling, the other news anchor, just the other night.
Oh,
actually.
really?
This is, so to give you...
She's causing trouble, this one, though.
I am. Natasha was on 10 Late News, and she started to get in a giggling fit. And Matt Doran is his name, the co-anchor. He kind of set her off, and she was reading his stories about death. Really dramatic stories, and laughing through them. So...
Not good.
Not good. I got on to Twitter, and I start, saying, now's your moment, Natasha, to say, sorry, this is bad what you've just done.
Yeah.
And people started actually joining in the conversation, and then ultimately she said sorry. And then she tweeted me back, and she goes, thanks. So you can reach anybody on Twitter. It is a way to get news. There's great tools. Like you just go to twitter.com and you can do a search on any keyword in the world and see what people right now, this very moment, are saying about your top service.
How do you build your Twitter? Because that's something I haven't actually focused on. For me, I've focused on Facebook and definitely YouTube. And thanks to you, just updating my LinkedIn profile. But Twitter, I have not worked it out. And I'm a person, when I don't know and I don't have direction, I just sort of leave it. So, and I'm sure there's other people there that want to get more followers. So how do we get more followers?
The old trend used to be to get auto followers and software working behind the scenes. Don't do that anymore. You'll know from the old school Twitters, unfortunately me included, that if there's a similar ratio of followers to following, that we've used tools like that in the past. So with Twitter, it's definitely more about quality. You don't have to worry about these huge lists of followers. The best way to do it is basically spark up conversations. Well, two things actually. Look for people that are saying amazing things and retweet them, and also reply. So you can do a retweet where you're just spreading their message, or you can do a reply when you can actually ask them a question. If you're doing good engagement and giving good value, their followers will also want to check you out.
Okay.
Hashtags as well. So a hashtag is the newest thing right now for social media. It is now on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. What it means is that in your tweet or your update, you use the hashtag or the pound symbol and then put a word in afterwards. And there's communities of people using these words, essentially. And so what it means is that the second you do hashtag in a word, it turns into a link, and you can click on it. And everybody else around the world that is using that same hashtag comes up in that search result.
Okay, so another community.
Totally another community. So, for example, the news thing I was telling you about is hashtag 10late, which is 10 Late News. I use that in all my tweets, so suddenly I had this whole community of people talking to me, saying, what did she just do? I just missed it. And then they, in their tweets, do hashtag, I picked up some followers from that, some really amazing followers.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So how does somebody find a hashtag? Because you're saying hashtag 10 late. Like, how do you know where the hashtags are?
If it's on TV or it's a concert or it's a public thing, you'll see it. They'll have it on the TV screen down at the bottom. So whenever you guys start seeing hashtag and some sort of word, that's their word that they're bringing up. Like, I know we were at an event and we were speaking together, and it was, we had a hashtag for that, and it was a conversation.
Do you have to register it? Like, if I wanted to do one for hashtag Billionaire Babes, or I'm guessing hashtag sales is already out there, right?
Yeah.
But if I want to do one for an event, do I have to register it, or it just starts
start
to...
using it. you just start using it, and then you get other people to start using it. And I would use hashtag sales, because that's also just a huge community of people as well. Don't use it in everything, because people will get really tired of seeing hashtag this and hashtag that. But every now and again, use it, and you'll be surprised at what type of people start to find you. You'll notice a spike in your followers as well during that time.
Great. Let's talk a bit about branding online. For me, I know it's something that I really just didn't get years ago, and I'm still not a brand expert at all. But the person that's got it closest, or actually spot on, is definitely you. And whenever you've sent me things, I've gone, oh my gosh, I love it. You're so bang on. So let's just talk about, how do you know how to get the branding right? And what's some education that you can give these guys?
I love this question, because I think branding's one of those things that people get scared of, and they think it's really big and there's so many moving parts. It really is about consistency. That is the key word, consistency. Come up with your market. Decide on the language that you're going to talk to them about. The best exercise I could possibly give that's really simple is put yourself in the space of that person that is your ideal client. Pretend like you're living as them for a day, and come up with 10 to 15 negative self-talk things that they would say throughout the day.
Great.
You're literally now in their head, and everything that you create is around fixing those bad negative self-talks. In the language that they want to hear it in. So if it's a 20-year-old woman, you speak in her language. That means your tweets, your graphics, your emails, your videos, everything should have a consistent look, feel, and message. And that is how you build a brand. A brand is also it's a customer connection to you. It's an emotional customer connection. People remember a brand when they feel something. They're not going to say, oh, that brand is a blue brand. They're going to say, that freaking woman does rap videos and does dances on stage. She's this musical sales genius. That is a brand, not pink.
Great. So it's quite interesting you said that it's not pink or it's not blue. I do see people get really hooked on wearing one colour with their videos or with their photos and with their branding. I am a girl that likes variety. I get bored very quickly. So I see that and I think, gosh, change it up. Do you have to always wear the same colour when it comes to branding, or can you actually change it up? Is it more of the message? Like, how does that work?
It's the message. It's are you doing a good job making the client or the potential client feel something and want to share your message as well? Really want to spread it. Colors is secondary. You know, that's just points that might help them remember you more. But I know, like Red Balloon Days with Naomi, she has a lot of, I know she speaks with red because it's all about red balloon and stuff.
She actually doesn't do it anymore. Oh. Yeah, but she's changed her position. We've actually interviewed her for this series.
I know,
And I think I don't know if she said it on camera or if it was behind the scenes, but she said that she's not doing the red anymore, but because she's changed where she is in the business. So now she's on the board, she's not actually representing the business internally.
There you go. Yeah, okay. So secondary would definitely be the answer.
Now, you've mentioned the word podcast a couple of times. So somebody's out there going, what the hell is a podcast?
Okay. I have a podcast, actually two, and that's why I love them. So here's what a podcast is essentially it's something that you can subscribe to like you would a blog or like you would a YouTube channel, but it's an audio channel. It's almost like listening to radio. And just recently in America, we hit critical mass with podcasting. More people are listening to podcasts in their cars than they are radio on their commutes.
Wow.
Amazing. Because
I'm guessing it's directly what you want to hear.
Exactly.
It's none of the crap.
It's none of the crap. It's exactly what you want to hear. There are podcasts for everything. Radio shows make their own podcasts. Of the best of the best of the day. They're educational podcasts. Every single topic you want to learn, you name it, there is a podcast. It's not just in iTunes anymore. It's in places like Podomatic and SoundCloud. There are these audio websites all over the world that people just literally download content from and listen to. So podcast is a very powerful tool because you get subscribers, loyal subscribers, and they're listening to you when they're driving, when they're ironing, when they're cooking dinner. Yeah. They get kind of in the zone of listening to you.
When they're jogging.
Jogging, yes, exactly.
So who would you recommend then to do podcasts?
to, oh gosh.
Like what type of business or company or
Every.
services do they have?
Every business could do a podcast because a podcast, again, is an extension of YouTube. It is a how-to. I'm going to tell you who I am and how, you know, all these amazing things that I know in my industry. So you could have a whole revamp your diet series if you're a weight loss expert. In my case, my podcast is all about online marketing and everything online marketing. Gosh, we just launching a new one, a podcast review show, which we're reviewing podcasts. You can review things in your industry. It is absolutely endless. The biggest thing I'll say, though, is be a trendsetter and define what's going on in your industry. However you do that in a podcast, whether it's educating or you know, doing reviews, it's a great chance for you to really lift your caliber of you know, who you are as a business.
Great. Now, is there anything exciting coming up that we don't know about? Because this girl's a bit of, like she said, a nerd when it comes to just... She went over and she did like 2 courses in the USA, if you can hear the accent as well. And but we've got an hour here. And I know that you immersed yourself for like 2 weeks, was it?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah. So is there anything new coming, anything exciting coming that we need to know about?
All you need to know is repurposing your content. Right now, we are in a content creation and distribution phase. Don't just create one piece of content and stick it on your website and then just forget about it. Create a piece of content. If you're going to do it on YouTube, make sure it's also on the other video sharing sites like Fiddler and Vimeo and Metacafe. Be thinking, how far can I push my reach with all the content that I have? So really, I mean, that is the big thing. And that's, you'll see more and more people doing podcasts and more people doing online TV shows because we're gearing up for mobile devices. We're gearing up for different apps. We're gearing up for how people actually want to engage with us. It's no longer about a website. The website's a very secondary key, and I would actually then begin to tell you your website's no longer about the website you thought about anymore. It's a series of landing pages, each dedicated to do different things.
And most of those things are to
get freebies,
capture a lead, so then you can start.
Absolutely, capture a lead, give away free items. To sell things as well. So you won't just have like a whole load of products on like if you have products in your navigation bar on your site, you won't just stick a whole bunch of products on that one page. You start to actually create an environment, a sales environment around each product and have a sales page with testimonials and case studies about that specific product.
Great.
So that's your website.
So let's just say if we've got someone watching and they're saying, all right, I don't know where the next step is I need to go. I've done a little bit here, a little bit there. How can they get a hold of you and what can you do to help them?
Yeah, okay. Well, autopilotyourbusiness.com is my business, Autopilot Your Business. I would say best place to start with me is actually to listen to my podcast. So you can go to autopilotyourbusiness.com and pick that up because every week my business partner and I train you on everything, not just the how-tos, but the where-tos. What tools can you get? Like today we were filming something on automation of customer service. We talked about every help desk there is under the sun. Where do you get them? How much do they cost? That's probably the best place to get access to me and what I know how to do. But there's webinars on my site as well, free webinars and blog posts. And we have an online survival guide as well. We're helping people gear up for the mobile age.
And can they download past podcasts?
Everything, I think we're at 32 right now for our podcast. So, and that's in iTunes or any of the different places that we're on, and that's all on my website. So absolutely.
So can you just say that address again so I can type it up?
Autopilotyourbusiness.com, and there's a resource tab in the menu there, and it has all the links to everything you need. And we also have a magazine as well, which does a lot of cool stuff. So all sorts of cool things on there for you guys. Free, you know, great resources that you can check out.
Beautiful. Well, guys, this is Netty'd from Billionaire Babes with Ms. Heather Porter. Absolutely fabulous to have you here today. Just a little secret, we actually recorded this interview before, but the microphone had broken. So we've had to redo this all over again. So thanks so much for coming in again. So absolute pleasure. So and I can't wait to show you again with actually my followers, my tribe.
Yes,
is that the word?
That's right.
Guys, hope you've enjoyed heaps of information today. Mwah, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.